Welcome to the FaceTime with God podcast. I'm your host, Kay Farrar, and yes, you have tuned in to the right place because we're bringing Christ to the culture and the culture to Christ. Because the gospel's not for old times, it's for all times. So we've got relevant topics, real people, and we're starting right now. All right, so welcome again to another edition of FaceTime with God, and we are so excited. We have been focusing on Black entrepreneurs, business people, Black excellence, and I'm so excited to have these two. It looks like linebackers. It looks like if we were starting a football team, we might have to call what is it, the Buffaloes. We might have to call Dion and try to get them on the squad. But so we have none other than Ellis and Ellis of the plumbing officials here today. And to get started, what we're going to do is we have a little icebreaker that we do. All right. Yeah. To just let everybody get to know you guys and for you guys to relax a little bit too. We're not going to bite you. I can't speak about the little puppies, but you already know about them.
Everybody, my name is Joseph Ellis. I'm the owner and president of the Plumbing Officials. We're located in the greater Richmond area. We service all of the surrounding counties. We specialize in all aspects of plumbing, gas fitting, and backflow prevention, also bathroom and kitchen remodels.
But this is a little icebreaker. And so I want each of you to pick a card.
Okay.
And then we're going to get your answer. All right. So you can read it out.
Okay. You want to go first or will we go first?
I gotta see. Okay.
You want to look at mine?
Yeah, I gotta see which was hard.
Don't they look like
I gotta go first. Okay. It says, what are you grateful for?
Wow.
I'm grateful for, all the blessings that the Almighty's blessed me with, my family, my health, business, for starters, my grandparents, my parents, so those are things that I'm most grateful for.
Awesome. All righty. How about you, sir?
What is one thing or situation that scares you? I gotta be honest, it's probably like if you're in the field and you run in something uncertain happens and you don't know how to deal with it, so you gotta call boss man.
You gotta call
boss man.
At least you know who to call, right?
You gotta call boss man for advice.
Absolutely. Then that's good. He knows who to call, right? I don't blame you. All right. Let's get another one.
One more.
Yeah, let's
go right off the top.
All right. I should mix up the colors a little more.
Okay, you got to go first this time.
What is the best, worst, or funniest job you ever had? I mean, this is the only job I ever had. It's the public officials. That's one thing I can't say.
I got you. All right, and we're gonna let you do a little bit more introduction. So we're just warming up, but that's cool. All right. How about you, Pop?
What made you smile in the last 2 weeks? One of my daughters made me smile real good in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I just hear so much family, so much love between the two of you. So why don't you officially really introduce yourself and just, I don't know, give us your elevator speech about who you are and how you guys are related and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm Joseph Ellis. This is my son, Zachary Ellis. He talk on himself. I'm a master plumber, licensed master plumber, Class A contractor in the city of Richmond. Been basically doing construction since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
My grandfather owned his own home repair business. Wow. And I kind of just, as I got older and got back into my roots and then been in construction most of my life and then brought my son into it because this is what I have to give him. So I wanted to give him, just like my grandfather gave me, to give to him so that he can, feed himself, take care of himself, and maybe expand and move forward with that. I've managed plumbing, worked for some of the bigger plumbing companies in the area, like Roto-Rooter and VCU.
Okay.
So I also was a plumbing instructor for 10 years too at Richmond Technical Center.
Okay. Oh, at the Tech. Okay.
At the Tech. Yep.
All right. I got some follow-up questions I want to ask you about that as well. All right. How about you, Zach?
My name is Zachary Ellis, and this is my father, Joseph Ellis. And hopefully I'm future master plumber and future owner of this company.
Wow.
Yeah. And the first contest he had me in is when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
1 year sooner than him. 1 year sooner than him. I was 8 years old. He said, "This guy is perfect size for a crawl space." And he took me over. I remember the job like it was yesterday.
Because you probably did one yesterday.
Yeah.
You probably had that crawl space yesterday.
But the thing is, it was one yesterday.
Wow.
I'd like to introduce everybody to our plumbing staff that takes care of all of the work in the field. Starting off with my lead technician, Khalil Muhammad, and my son, technician, Zachary Ellis, and my head excavator operator, Ali, and my adopted son. I had to pop that one up. And my technician, Justin Stevenson, and also a plumber in the making apprentice, Noor, will be headed off today to perform some service calls.
So he had you doing plumbing since you were 8.
Yes.
My goodness. I just love the way you guys interact with each other. So listening audience, these are my plumbers, I would have to say. So I'm trying to think of the work that you've done here. I know you replaced all of my toilets.
Mm-hmm.
You just replaced the water heater. And I know you did some other work. I'm trying to think of, you did my insulation.
Okay,
you insulated all of my pipes, and I forgot what else you were doing. You were doing something.
Yeah,
else.
we winterized your water piping.
Oh, okay.
And the cross pipes.
Yep. So you got me straight. But the thing that really stood out to me about your business was one that you had your son with you every time, and he looked so young. Some of the time I'm like, isn't he supposed to be in school? So Zach, how old are you?
18.
18.
Yes.
So are you graduated?
I'm about to graduate this year.
So when he comes after school?
Homeschool.
I'm homeschooled.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, awesome. The whole time you've been homeschooled?
No.
Since? Okay.
It was like, I think it was like
COVID.
When COVID hit, I finished, I was still in school. So I finished school online.
Okay.
And after that online school era, I went to school homeschooling so I can open business.
Okay. All right. He said, I went to homeschool because dad made me go.
Well, it was part of the plan.
No, I understand. And the thing of it is, I love the way you interact with each other. So it's just so awesome. How did you guys get this bond? Are you like this with the whole family is just happy, works together?
Well, we have our bumps, but for the most part, yes. And it's probably one of the things me and my wife try to stress is just, praying together and staying together, And one of the things, like every time after we finish praying, we bring on everybody in, whether you don't want to be in the hug or not, we all hug.
Wow.
So, and my grandfather and grandmother were big on that, so that's one of the things that I wanted to institute in our kids and then let them know the importance of, your most valuable asset is yourself.
Wow.
And you got to learn to invest in yourself. And if you can't invest in yourself and in your family, in my opinion, you can't really move forward.
Wow. I love that. I love that. We need to hear that, like, seriously. And one of my guests that I had, or actually my very first guest I had, just won a seat on the school board at that time, Ryan Young, right? And one of the things he said, you know, he works with a lot of kids. He said that kids who are loved go to school to learn, and those who are not go to school to be loved. And it's like, because they're not getting it at home. And there is certainly, you go to school and I would like to say you're unfortunately not getting that, you know, at school. But the absence of people knowing who they are and just being comfortable in themselves, being able to be articulate like Zach, you know, look you eye to eye. He's, you know, we talked a little bit early and I was like, you nervous? He's like, yeah. But just being able to be yourself, being comfortable in who you are. How do you feel you came about all of that?
I mean, I follow my father's lead. So if he's chill, I'm chill. If he's I'm like, oh, something's wrong then. So I follow his vibe.
Yeah, you follow his vibe. Yeah. Wow. How does that make you feel as a dad?
It makes me feel proud in that he does listen.
After food bumps on the head, he'll listen, right?
We're currently working on a residence here on Lamb Avenue, north side of Richmond, where we installed new plumbing piping for upstairs bathroom. We're also going to be renovating that bathroom, getting it ready for tile and sheetrock. We also assisted the customer in installing electrical service, where we excavated a trench for him. So we're going to go inside and kind of show you guys some of the work we've performed on this project.
Awesome. All right. Now, how many kids do you have total?
Altogether, we have 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we have 7.
All right. That's quite a bit in modern times, right? Back in the day, they had 10, 10, 13, all that good stuff. But 7, that's a good number. All right. So boys, girls, how many?
2 boys.
Okay.
5 girls.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You got a house full of girls. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that's why you so jovial. You're like, all right. I just got to be able to go with the flow. All right. So, what made you choose plumbing? I know you said your grandfather. Was it just your admiration for him? You just wanted to carry on the legacy? Were you looking at, you know, the economy? I mean, what were some of the factors of your deciding to do this? And as you answer that, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to give you one of the lead-ins. One of the reasons I said why I had you guys here first was just because the way you run your company. Yeah, I was just impressed, honestly, because I'm always looking to do business with Black people in business. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes it can be challenging, even though I want to.
Correct.
Because we have some distance to go sometimes. And some of our people don't really realize the distance they have to go. They know they're talented. They know they have the ability, but sometimes some of the business acumen, some of the protocols and things aren't there like you see in some of the other businesses. I just have to be honest. But when I interacted with your business, it was just as good as, you know, Michael and Son or whoever else. I don't know if they're electrical. I don't know if they're plumbing, but whatever. The major, you know, companies that you get for maintaining your home, as far as I'm concerned, you right up there with all of them. But I just learned that you just got started in 2020.
Yes, correct.
So, but what were you thinking about? Was it, okay, this is the opportune time, or you felt like, I mean, what were some of your factors in deciding to do it?
Well, my grandfather, he did a little everything. He did home repair based. What got me into plumbing as a trade was, 1, you had to be licensed to do it.
Okay.
2, and it's a story that goes with it. I don't know we got time for the story, but it's a necessity. And realizing that plumbing is a necessity and it exists in every structure, whether a parking garage, residential home, 20-story building, even a parking lot, it has plumbing.
Wow.
So that was one of the things, because everybody will always need a plumber. So that's one thing that really got me into it. I've been a master plumber since 2008.
Okay.
So I've always been in plumbing and in the field with plumbing, and even had my own business even back then, but on a smaller scale.
Okay.
I kind of, it was the opportune time because, like I said, I was at VCU for about 7 years and 4 months.
Okay.
I was a lead plumber on a medical campus in my zone.
Okay.
For about 4 years. I was first responder for a little while. And then, like I said, I taught at the technical center for 10 years.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot.
Wow.
And then
I got a good plumber, don't I?
Yes, yes. And then also, my experience at Roto-Rooter really showed me like the customer service side of it, et cetera. And then just the ethics and morals my grandparents installed in me. So he was getting older. And I knew that I wanted to take the opportunity to really give this to him so he can gain mastery of it at a young age. So this way he can kind of maximize his future with it if he chose to go into it.
Okay.
So when COVID hit, it was kind of like things kind of like he actually got hurt and I had to take a leave of absence from my job. And it gave me an opportunity to really reevaluate things. And I said, I made these other companies millions of dollars. It's time for me to really make an investment in myself and in my son. And it was just felt like the opportune time. So this is where we started the repairs on the waste pipe. We're down in the basement now. We rebuild the waste stack starting from where it comes out of the floor, runs back up through the crawl space, and then up into the voyer area where we got a couple photos and stuff early. All right, so this is the waste stack that came up, that we started from the basement, that comes up through the voyer, where we tie back into the vent stack for the home. And then if you come in here, this is gonna be the future custom shower for this bathroom. This is gonna be the vanity.
Yeah, and the fact that you taught at the tech, one of the things that my mom used to fuss about, right, is that she was like, I don't know what's going on with our young people. They're not taking a trade. And why, we need to get our young black men, they need to learn a trade. Yeah. And we were talking amongst our team, it's fine to go to college. It's fine to be in an office and wear a suit to work every day. But a lot of times those people in the office wearing a suit to work every day aren't making half of what people who have a trade make. Like seriously. Right. Like really. Yeah. And one of the things, just like you said, people don't look at the bigger picture, right? And some people don't. They feel like sitting in the office, they would get bored. They don't want to sit behind a desk. They don't want to be inside. They don't want to be just confined to one area. And so with your own business, and if you set your calendar, you set the calls that you take. So if you want to go on vacation, you can turn all the calls off. You can say, okay, if you need to travel, you set your own schedule. And a lot of times in the office, somebody else is setting your schedule, and you're, in a sense, you're really just punching the clock and doing what they tell you to do. But, what would you have to say to a young person if they're trying to decide what they want to do going forward? What would you say to them as to consider this as a career?
Right. A good friend of mine once told me, especially for younger people, you have an opportunity in your life to have two careers, 20 to 40, 40 to 60. And understand that the trades can be an ends to a means. Give you an example. Like I told you, I worked at VCU for 7 years and some change. Well, I was a mechanical engineering major for 5 years and 4 months while I was there. I maximized the tuition waiver and went to school for free. because I was a master plumber. I was able to get employed by the state college, then maximize the tuition waiver to go to school.
Right.
So trades can sometimes be a means to an end.
Right.
And, especially if you can't just put the money out for college, so it can be a means to ends. And then the trades pay well.
Yeah.
My son, like I said, he's in probably his third year of doing this. I wouldn't want to say it. I think your first year you did like 30 something, the second year you did like 50, and then I think you'll do 50 something this year.
Yeah.
So I think the trades.
As an 18-year-old.
Correct.
That is good
and then,
money.
Yes.
And then, as an 18? As 18? Come on, man.
So with the trades, if you take it seriously, you look at 2 years of education, 2 nights a week, 3-hour classes. So you're talking about 6 hours. And then, of course, trying to get your field experience. So 2 years of education, basically 240 hours of classroom hours, and then 4 years in the field. And you can take your journeyman's test. And then a year after that, you can take your master's test. Yeah. And then just based upon having the tradesman card, you can demand a certain level of income.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, everything that you said, it is a necessity. Everybody needs a plumber. And one of the things I think that has helped to set you apart, though, seriously, is your mindset, right? You're not just being short-sighted about things, but you're thinking about the future. You're thinking, how can we put this puzzle together to make my picture? And I was looking, one statistic I looked at, it said that in 2021 anyway, and sometimes the statistics, they run behind schedule a little bit in the years that they report in. But in 2021, across the United States, plumbing and HVAC was 144. All right, so I'm going to ask this of everybody. $144 million industry or $144 billion industry?
I'd say billion.
Yeah.
Billion. Easy.
Billion.
Yeah. Easy.
Isn't that something? Just like you said, because everyone needs a plumber. When I went to school, one of the things, and I was thinking that way, and I was also thinking, what am I good at? What would, what fit me? And I thought, well, one of my concentrations was personnel administration, because I told myself the same thing. Everybody has a personnel office. Most organizations of a good size, every one of them, no matter what type of organization, if you're in the auto industry, if you're in a nonprofit, if you're in education, if you're in a corporate setting, everybody has HR. So we need our young people to kind of think that way. Think about what do they like? What are they good at? And then think about the economics of it. So I love that you did that. But tell us this, what is the difference between a plumber and a master plumber? What's the dividing line?
Well, basically you have 3 levels. So you have apprentice, which doesn't have a license. It's just someone in training, someone trying to learn the craft. Then you have a journeyman. And a journeyman is someone who they have to take a state exam. They have to have, like I said, a minimum of 240 classroom hours and 4 years of experience. And then they take an exam. That exam basically covers most of your plumbing standards, rules and regulations with fittings and different materials to show that you have some proficiency and you know some of the rules and how to apply it in the field to installing the plumbing. Now, a master plumber, on the other hand, and like with a journeyman, there's a limit of people he can supervise. I think it's like maybe 10. Now, a master plumber, on the other hand, he has the ability and should have the ability and proficiency once he passes his exam to size systems, design systems. He can supervise an unlimited amount of people underneath him. So it's that's the difference is the proficiency. It's kind of like he's a master. Like you have your doctor, your master.
Yeah. So how long did you spend in each one of those? So you were an apprentice and then a journeyman and then a master plumber?
Well, actually, my journey was a little bit different because of all of my experience.
Right.
I was able to take my exam based upon my experience, but I still had to study.
Wow.
So you can take your journeyman's exam or your master's exam if you have 10 years of experience or more. Because of my extensive background in construction and plumbing, etc., I was able to take my exam based upon my experience.
Okay, got it.
But that's not to slight the amount of study that it took me.
How much study? So it was a good amount.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you have to learn?
Well, you have to learn all of the rules and regulations.
Okay.
Sizing, type of materials can be put together, how to put the materials together.
Okay. Do you have to learn any chemistry, like combustible stuff and the gas lines and all? Do you work?
Somewhat. It's more about what not to put together to cause a bad reaction.
Okay.
Like if you put certain metals together, it causes electrolysis that can accelerate the erosion of the piping. Things like that. Now, it's a lot of math because you got to be able to, like every plumbing fixture has a value. So it has what's called a water fixture unit value and a drainage fixture unit value. So the value based upon how much water that plumbing fixture uses and the value of DFUs, meaning drainage, that the fixture will put out. And then you have to be able to calculate and size those things to tell you what size the pipe needs to be, etc.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not, in other words, you have to have a head on your shoulders to be able to do this kind of work.
Yes. You have to have sound math capability. You got to be able to be good with your addition, subtraction.
I'm feeling
a little bit of geometry.
I'm feeling better and better all the time about all the work you did for me. I'm in good hands. I'm definitely in good hands.
I'm the homeowner. I just bought this house about a month ago, and it's a 100-year-old house. Pretty much a vintage house where really nothing has been done to this house for the last 100 years. So it's got original plumbing, original wiring, basically original everything in it. And we were really happy to find a local guy, who's a legitimate local business, not, some kind of 800 number referral service, but, real people, hiring people in the neighborhood. And, the crew showed up. I think at one time we had 6 or 8 guys here. And they just banged right through the project. So
tell us this, in 2020 when you started, how many customers did you start with in the beginning?
Oh, man.
And then how many has it grown to so far?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I had a few people I've dealt with through the years because, like I said, I've been a master plumber since 2008.
Okay.
And I've been doing plumbing actively in Virginia since I would say probably 2002.
Okay.
Because like I said, I was actually a partner in another business venture, which was plumbing related, before I went into business for myself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So how big would you say your business is? Are you still considered a small business?
I would say we're in the middle.
Okay. Well, that's good.
We're in the middle. Figure our first year, if you put some numbers out, we did 356.
Okay.
Next year we did 756,000. Yeah, we did 356,000. Yeah, we did 356,000.
Wait, in the first year of your business?
Yes, in the first year.
All right, so see, everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
And
actually, that was a half a year.
I know she doesn't have a plan.
That was about a half a year. That was about a half a year.
A half a year.
Yeah, because we took the first portion of the year setting up.
Okay.
Basically branding.
I love your branding. And look, see, they came in here branded down too, and I love it. And the trucks and everything. So you guys will see some of that footage. Yeah. But in the first year, you did 356,000. That is amazing. That is amazing.
In our second year, we did 700 56.
Wow.
Then
so
we
this
did
$1 million business.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling. That's the feeling I'm getting.
Yes.
Okay.
We're on that path, and that's our goal this year to break $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where do you advertise?
Google, Yelp, and it's just word of mouth, you know, just doing people right.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest part of it is just doing people right.
Wow.
I look back on my years of experience, and there's things I take away from every business venture I was in, every job I had. And then I just try to expound on it and then see how can we do it better. Yeah. And be honest, be fair, be reasonable.
Wow.
You know, we try to work with our people. You know, we try to work with our people.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna ask the team, especially since we have some team members here. Anybody have a question you guys want to ask the plumbing officials before we close out? Any questions? Any comments? Any more stories? Any more jokes? Did you play football? You guys can let me know. I'm going over
a little bit.
You did?
A little bit, but I grew up in the Michael Jordan era. So.
Oh, you played basketball?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I know they put you in. I was about to say they did put you in the center.
Well, I played from small forward to point guard. My senior year. Really? I played mostly point shooting, a little bit of small forward. I used to be able to get up. I used to catch a two-hand alley-oop and flush it down. So, you know, and then what drew me more to basketball than football was, I think it was my freshman year. And one of the girls from the neighborhood was in the stands, and she said, "Number 42, you got nice legs." And I was done. In the football, you can't see your legs; they don't see your face.
So I think that's a good note to end on. He said he used to get up, and he said he could catch a two-hand alley-oop and flush it down.
Yeah, I had a nice jumper too.
And he had a nice jumper. So this has been amazing. Man, any way we need to do it, we need to get it done. And I thank you guys for coming and just sharing about your business. It is excellent. And we have a program that's airing tonight, part 2 on Black excellence. And now we're just keeping Black excellence going. So thank you for coming. I'm going to be talking to you. I'm going to see if I can maybe come hang out with your wife and maybe I don't know if she would be open to that. And if not, it's cool. But I'm looking to set up what I do in an excellent way in terms of from the back office standpoint. And maybe there's some things that I can learn, or maybe she can just, drop some nuggets, some knowledge on me as we set up, because we're starting a new ministry and we're going to be doing some big things too. So thank you for stopping by the podcast. Any last word?
So there's another venture that's kind of in its infancy that I'm working with one of my mentors, where we're starting a trade school. We got one certified program for backflow prevention right now that we want to spin off of that. Now, I'm going to tell you jurisdiction that's a shining example for implementing the trades in the high school sector, and that's Louisa County. They partner with Habitat for Humanity, and they bring the students in as freshmen, and they actually get their field hours by helping to build the house and get their classroom hours while they're in school. So by the time they get to their senior year, they have the 4 years of experience and they have the 240 classroom hours. So they can come fresh out of high school and take their journeyman's exam. And you're talking about a smaller county, I mean, I don't see why that couldn't be the example for all the surrounding counties, honestly, and including the city of Richmond.
Absolutely. I'm in 100% agreement with you about that. And we're looking to do some things with school. I want to start a school. That's what we were just talking about upstairs. And so these are some things that are needed, and we need people like you to help get some of these things going. So we'll be talking to you more about that as well.
Anyway,
just to support, and all let's get in here together and figure this out. So absolutely.